I'm not sure if this is gonna work, guys.
Take your fucking shitty fucking fedora and go eat a dick.
This is John. Just look at the turkey. Woo!
Hey, prices just went up. I control shit. Robots.
I may have just been tripping. I thought it was echoing.
I love that money a whole lot. I love that dope. I be smoking a whole lot. You used to hoop up in the backyard. Now I'm on fight for the stop a big go yard. Why not? Know that boy been trying to catch up. Pull up on them about a wet up. Bad night. Every day I try to set up. I hate them killers. They push up. Bad night. Niggas gon' hate cause I start. For the mistake, I don't front yard. Bad night. You ain't no shit. You irrelevant. AK sweep. You sweep up the evidence. Bad night. 300 t-shirt from Velo. My pockets all blue and look green like a peacock. She call me private cause that bitch ain't unblocked. Phone and kick, don't give a fuck if it's unlocked. I know your nigga ain't shit like me. Wherever I shop without leave, gotta restock. Cop super loud like I'm under a padlock. Jumped in the game through that bitch in the headlock. Exotic whipping ain't from here.
I usually don't have problems, guys. I don't know what the fuck happened. Let me know if it's fucked up, okay?
Niggas gon' die trying to see what it feel like. 100 round catch what it feel like. I might go get a track hawk if I feel like. Just to see what that bitch feel like. Hey, prices just went up. I control shit. Robots.
So if we look at that real quick, I know I'm gonna analyze everything here. Jings is just peeking over top of that dresser.
I hit the gas and that bitch do a donut. I'm finna smoke up the whole lot. I love that money a whole lot. I love that dope. I be smoking a whole lot.
That's Ross's cat.
Now I'm on fight finna stop a big go yard. Why not? Know that boy been trying to catch up. Pull up on them about a wet up. Bad night. Every day I try to set up. I hate them killers. They push up. Bad night. Niggas gon' hate cause I
Who's J.A.?
You ain't no shit. You irrelevant. AK sweep. You sweep up the evidence. Bad night. Come get your hoe. She a free. She bought some business decided about me. They have 3 hoes I'm divided by.
I don't know what I'll do tonight. Might watch some shit, might talk about some shit. I don't know if I feel like chatting with anybody or not. Maybe, we'll see if anybody wants to.
I love my debit, got rubber bands. Phone got arm, let the ass get another hand. Hey, try some of your scalp, go to Birmingham. She try that shit with another man. No, I got guap, I can take her to Wonderland. I thought I'd get what I
If
wanna get.
I don't know J.A. by now.
Hey, prices just went up. I control shit. Robots, I hit the gas and that bitch do a donut.
John's gotta be the coolest fucking like middle-aged Texan dude ever. Look at that hair. Now I think he's doing a Louis C.K. there, just judging by the black shirt.
I love that dope, I be smoking a whole lot. You used to hoop up in the backyard, now I'm on fight finna stop a big go yard. Why not? Know that boy been trying to catch up.
That's fucking so cool right there. Not that. That's okay.
I hate them killers, they push up bad night. Niggas gon' hate cause I start. For the mistake, I don't front yard bad night. You ain't no shit, you irrelevant. AK sweep, you sweep up the evidence bad night. Bad night.
It's a cool ass video. I'll let the plug run here.
Oh, please, I'm going to urge you today, please. You know what? I'll go this far. I'll go this far. I'm
Danica
gonna provide
puppet?
you guys with links. Let me help the enemy. Go ahead. Here, I'm going to give you guys links. All the guys you want right here. Here's that.
Oh, Danica's a girl that
fella.
Kenny met at a concert.
You guys can please go check out his channel. Oh, he's so good. He's so good. He's the best.
What to check out next? I have a few things for you guys here.
Ross Dog guy, right? Ross Dog. Who, by the way, anybody that calls themselves anything dog.
Oh, here we go.
DAW.
Headphone
2019.
Headphone listeners, I'm going to warn you right now. Sam gets real loud in this clip, so just
please, I'm
be
posting
careful.
the link in the chat. I'm urging you to.
Now this is a masterpiece made by our own sweet baby Griggy. I'm not sure. It took me a minute to figure out what was going on. I just, it popped up and I just clicked play. But fuck, man. So like everything started to come together. Obviously I saw who Griggy was, but I didn't know who even the Sam Hill voice was yet. Didn't really sound like him because he was like super excited. And I didn't catch that part of the stream. I was sleeping. But anyway, I'm like, who the hell is this Penn Jillette looking guy behind Brad Pitt? Anyway, I'll just play it. You guys can listen to this.
All right, Sammy. All right, Manny.
Manny.
Let me tell the joke, Sammy. I'm trying. You are Galactus Interruptus. That's what you are.
I'm an interruptus, man. You are an interrupter. Okay, I'm going to shut the fuck
We were all wrong. He was right the whole time. He's got Hollywood looks. Look at him.
You know it.
I do know it. I know
Am I
it.
allowed to burp into the mic?
No, you're not.
I just did. All right.
That was an antisocial. Who are you, Matt Stearns, man?
Kyle smashed you clear, Floss. What'd he
Don't
say?
get me going on that guy. I'm trying to have fun here.
Battle with Greggy. What could be better, man? That's not a threat, man. That's an invitation, man.
Oh, Kyle called you a white faggot stalker for talking about his GoFundMe. You white faggot stalker. Oh shit, man! I gotta turn my fucking phone off. What's Don A talking about? Don A just DM me. You guys want to know what it says? Let's check it out, okay? Alright, let's get into our Don A DM here. Usually he just sends me dick pics. Fucking faggot. Oh, yep, that's what it was. Ugh. Too much hair, too, man. Even if I was a gay guy, I wouldn't be into that hairy salami.
Dumb. She flunked recess.
No, man, that's hard to flunk.
Take that one, Matt. Your mama's so stupid. She tripped over a cordless phone.
I love how look at that, look at it right now. I love how Hostbusters is just giggling, and even look, Russell Cook's back there.
That's stupid, man. It's
Real dumb.
Russell Cook just moves every once in a while and kind of like giggles.
Let me tell you, that Stern's mama is so bald.
Oh, how about
I can read her mind. Man, she's a dope. She's a real co.
Look at that fucked up photo Griggy drew. Man, Griggy, you are you really are the #1 bad dude.
she's a dope, man? She's a cunt head.
Whoa, whoa,
Oh, no.
Sammy,
Take that
Sammy,
back.
Sammy. Matt Stern's mama is
Yeah?
so stupid.
So stupid.
She tried to drown a fish.
I'll say that Griggy has like a very Dr. Seuss style. Like that even looks like a Dr. Like, I don't know.
Did it work?
I need to learn how to do this though.
One, man. Because fish swim.
You got it, Sammy. She's a real dummy.
She's a dummy. She's better behind the
Sam Hill should be a black screen.
That was another kid.
Yeah, that's that. Let's see what's up next. Oh, whoa, hey, it's trying to take me into a fucking... Oh, no, I don't want to watch that right now. That's okay. Nope, not that again.
All right, Sammy.
Oh, yeah, let's watch this. Let's
Let me
see.
tell the joke.
Bingo.
You would never satisfy
Another
Shimmer.
time.
Oh, I got to be careful because if I click on a certain part of the stream, we might see more than we need to of Helen Keller. Here we go.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I want little girls to be around him.
So Wendy gets on the screen, and ever, I mean, she's been around a while, but every time she pops on screen, it's definitely sobering. You're like, whoa, the fucking face matches the voice. But she gets on there. Jay's hammered. I think he, at this point in the stream, he just took the rest of his fifth or whatever the fuck he was drinking. And everybody knows Jay's a lightweight on top of, slamming the bottle anyway. Don't tell him I said that. But so he gets drunk. And I think he was really feeling Wendy in this clip, guys. You let me know. I'll just let it play.
But I'm saying, like, where are the little
And
girls?
the only reason
They're just little boys.
He can't handle a girl like Wendy.
I
Wendy's too much.
just thought of something. I just thought of something. The only reason Space
Wendy,
Monster is
Wendy.
here is because Jimmer's mystery probably told.
What gets funny is, like, it's almost like Wendy's used to guys trying to hit on her. Like, I think Jay was, like, clout chasing with Wendy. And you know, more power to him, whatever. But she's like so used to it that she just dismisses him, and she just keeps trying to talk to Cosmic. I think she calls him Cosmo.
Space Buster to watch what I do.
Yep, she's a spy, right, Wendy? Yeah, that's right.
A chaperone.
Yeah.
So, Wendy, what you should do is take 2 fingers, call one space and one monster, and then take them and stick them in your pussy and say, fuck space.
Yeah, so I just want to like forewarn you guys. This is some very. I mean, this stream is set to 18 and above, but Jay gets very, very vulgar in this clip. So, if you have children in the room, people sensitive to whatever it is he's about to talk about, you know what to do.
Monster. 3 strokes, and that bitch is done. You know what I'm saying, Wendy? Hey, Wendy, you drinking that Mountain
Jay got
Dew?
disgusted, or Cosmic, and left.
You got that Mountain Dew, right,
And I'm eating
girl?
macaroni
Oh
and
no,
cheese.
she messaged me that she comes in
fuck
peace.
Yeah. Wendy's gonna have greenish yellow.
Should I
poop
trust
tomorrow,
her?
y'all. Oh my god! If I could see that, I would probably.
It's not St. Patrick's yet, Wendy.
Come and
Save
puke
it.
my guts out at the same time. Wendy, I love you.
Love you too, Jay.
I love you too, Ross Dog.
Thank you.
Thanks, Wendy.
Thank you, Ross Dog. Thank you, Ross Dog.
Wendy, when are you gonna go? Oh, hold up. It's coughing. Wendy, you shouldn't put food in your mouth when you're coughing. Give it a
I
minute.
can't believe, Ross Dog,
Sure.
that your
Ross Dog,
cat's bigger
Ross
than
Dog.
mine.
That cat
Wendy,
is very fat.
Quiet. I gotta talk to my lover, Ross Dog.
Oh God.
Ross Dog,
Beta.
if we didn't fuck so much, this show would not be so great. I mean, I swear.
You're not supposed to hear about that till 2021.
Back
God
to
damn it.
Wendy. What were you saying, Wendy? I'm sorry. I'm sorry to cut
That's
you
a
off.
clip.
You're welcome.
Clip that one.
You guys, when this was going on, I wish that the stream was 12 hours long like Sam's show, because Jay drunk like this is a loose cannon, man. He's a wildfire. We need Jay like this all the time. And he was actually referencing that he was, his life was in decline right now. He's adjusting to this new job. So maybe he will become an alcoholic and we will get grade A content out of him 100% of the time.
Thank you, Wendy.
Helen, you better be careful. You know Jimmer's gonna probably put more naked pictures of you.
Yeah, because
For you,
naked
Yellow.
pictures of me, open naked butthole.
You don't want that.
Yes.
Stop that.
Why does he have a bunch of
His
naked
butthole
pics of
is so
him?
big and open. Anybody with a dick would think they could stick it in there.
Pedophile.
I'm just
Weird.
warning you,
It's just a weird night all around.
Travis.
Yeah, Travis, stop showing that butthole.
It's a strange night.
Okay, you're right.
I love
Hey, you know what I call this?
Gay.
Hey, no.
I'm calling this stream gay.
I love Joe.
I call it the fantasy.
Oh fuck, he got me. Let's move ahead a little bit. God damn him, dude.
Your burp
Cheers.
was way less vapor than Jemmer's queefs.
Hey Ross,
Wendy.
where did you get that big cat? Because
Wendy.
your cat's bigger than mine.
Wendy,
On the
Wendy,
street.
have you ever
Just giving him the Heisman.
I've been raising them for generations.
Who's talking to me? I cannot tell.
That's Jay.
I'm sorry, Wendy. I love
Hey,
you.
well, I love you
Yes.
too, Jay.
Should we review the Hostbusters and Sam Hill show next? Any parts in that you guys think could be worth dissecting a little bit? Getting into a little bit deeper?
But Wendy, when Jimmer says I love you to you, what does that mean? to you.
To you.
I couldn't hear what you were saying.
No, like, so, like, if I tell you I love you,
Yell it at her,
means
Jay.
I want to eat that fat pussy, right? And if Jimmer tells you,
All right, so let's rewind that just a little bit because I want to make sure that I heard that clearly. Jay drunk is like a fucking gold mine. I love it.
when Jimmer says I love you to you, what does that mean to you?
Do you think he's talking like that because he's talking to Wendy or
to you?
I couldn't hear what you were saying.
No, like, so, like, if I tell you,
I'm reading in the chat replay of this. Cynthia says, "I'm sweating. I'm laughing so hard."
I love you,
Yell it at her,
means
Jay.
I want to eat that fat pussy, right? And
Russell Cook, you think that you're? You know what? I didn't see your true crime segment, so I'm definitely gonna give that some more limelight.
if Jimmer tells you he loves you, what does he mean by that?
He means he loves me dearly.
But, like, if I want to eat that fat pussy, that's real love, right? Like, juices, everything. I want all that comes with it, like all that cream.
Hey
everything.
Travis, that
Bro.
you should keep that
Yeah,
look. That's a good look for you.
Yeah.
Thanks,
I will
Wendy.
let
I'm gonna
you
keep
look
it just
at
for
his-
you.
I will let you look him in those eyes.
Yo, producer Jay is my dude, and he knows that. But he knew that this was gonna be reviewed. It's a segment that's just it got passed over too quickly when it was live.
As I fucking gnaw on that pussy. But, like, what is Jimmer? All that comes with it, like all that cream.
Hey,
everything. Eat that fat pussy. That's real love. I want to eat that fat pussy, right? And if Jimmer tells you he loves you, what does he mean by that?
He means he loves me dearly.
But, like, if I want to eat that fat pussy, that's real love, right? Like, juices, everything. I want all that comes with it, like all that cream.
Hey
everything.
Travis, that you should keep that look. That's a
his
good look
eyes.
for you.
Yeah.
Thanks,
I will
Wendy.
let
I'm gonna
you
keep
look
it just
at
for
his-
you.
I will let you look him in those eyes as I fucking gnaw on that pussy.
Do you guys know when the glasses segment was when Jay was expressing his aficionado status?
But, like, what is Jimmer offering you?
Well, Jimmer offered me the time of my life. He said when we meet up, whenever I get back on my feet and I'm in California, he said he was going to take me to Disney World.
Oh, can you imagine? How would that go?
Jimmer, are we there yet?
No, Wendy. Just hang back and be cool, girl.
Okay. This looks like a basement.
Here, smell this. Does it smell like chloroform?
Oh.
Yeah, but Wendy, would you rather go to Disney World or have your butthole eaten by a fat man?
I would love to go to Disney. I would love to go to Disney World because I haven't been to Disney.
You know what it would be like? It would be like that movie David. Remember when Red Bar talked about that? I actually saw that when I was a kid. My mom would watch Lifetime, and I'd kick it with her, and I'd watch like the spooky ones, and that was one of them, dude. That kid, what happened? The dad, he was like, it was a bad divorce. It was like a ugly like custody battle, and the father's like, "Hey, I'm gonna take David down to, I'm gonna take him down to Disney World. We're gonna have a great time." And like in the hotel room, he douses the kid with like kerosene, lights the whole hotel room on fire, and the kid, like 90% of his body is burnt, but he survives, and I think he just died. It's a horrible, sad story.
But have you ever had your butthole eaten by a fat man?
No.
Well, how do you know that that's not more fun than Disney? Because you never had either one. So what if you could get both at the same time?
I don't know. I mean, I don't
That
have
would
my mother with
probably-
me. My
that would
mother goes
probably
with
make-
me everywhere I go.
Well, like, you should ask your mom about this. Like, honestly, it'd probably make her cream in her panties too. And like, getting your butthole eaten out and
This
going
gets to the
Disney
point
World
where
at the
Wendy
same
is
time
like,
by Mickey Mouse.
like I know what Jay's
like,
doing.
Who wouldn't
Jay's
want that?
Jay's going for the Howard Stern approach because this is what Howard Stern will do. But for some reason, because it's sweet like Jay and he's got glasses on and all that stuff, it comes across different for some reason.
I really would love to see Mickey Mouse.
Right, eating your butthole and your mom's at the same
Oh, that's so sad. She's like, I really want to see Mickey Mouse. Let's hear that again.
time. Holy shit! Eating out and going to Disney World at the same time by Mickey Mouse.
I got a
Like,
chewing tobacco dip
Who
in.
wouldn't want that?
Excuse
I
my
really
list.
would love to see Mickey Mouse.
Gross, I know.
Right, eating your butthole and your mom's at the same time. Holy shit!
Wendy, he's
Where's
vulgar, isn't he?
Cosmo?
Wendy, isn't he vulgar? Isn't he kind of nasty, this guy talking to you right
Yeah.
now? Isn't he a
Helen DeKellar just said that.
big... He's kind of nasty,
Where's
huh?
Cosmo? Did
Cosmo, where are
fall
you,
in the
Cosmo?
toilet?
Look, she's looking for any lifeline she can grab here.
I'm
He probably did.
But has your
This
life
is a
been
great segment, guys.
anything but vulgar, Wendy? Like, did your mom? No, your mom is loving. So, did your mom ever let you have your pussy eaten?
Tom says, did Cosmo fall in the toilet? Quoting Wendy. He's like, tiny little mug. Cosmic is a small man.
Nope, not allowed to do it at all.
When Frank helped Cosmic move, he put Cosmic in a suitcase.
Wendy,
Wow.
forget about that. Have you checked your Discord DMs, Wendy?
Wendy,
Have you
would
seen?
you
Because we have
like to
a
know
gift for
what
you,
it's
Wendy.
like? No.
$100 gift for you,
Don't listen
Wendy.
to Travis.
Don't listen
Wendy.
to this Jay fella. He's vulgar.
No. Wendy.
He's a
$100
vulgar
gift
human.
I ain't paid for a hotel in over 15 years. I just sneaked through in a suitcase.
Shut up. $100 gift cards are great, but Wendy, if like, so you know when you get your diaper changed,
Ass eating is better.
and they rub that like diaper rash.
Oh,
cream on
that's
your
the way,
pussy?
Cosmo.
No, but Wendy.
There's Cosmo.
Now
this-
you're going to
He's
get
not listening to
Travis
you, Jay.
This is
eating.
me, Cosmo.
You are
Wendy.
gonna get
Now
me
you're
eating. That's a
going
good
to get
point.
Travis eating, Cosmo.
Yeah. Cosmo's gonna rub some diaper rash cream on your
Oh shit, the cops are coming. I'll jump in my ukulele case.
pussy. But like, Wendy, wouldn't you love it if you could have your diaper changed and it didn't feel bad? It felt good. And Cosmo.
My
is
mommy's
there.
the one that.
Right, but
My
what if
mommy's the one that helps
Cosmo-
me clean up.
What if Cosmo cleaned you up and he cleaned you up like a little too good? You know
Hey,
what I'm saying?
Cosmo, look what you did to Travis.
Yeah, like I'm Travis and Cosmo cleaned me up good. I'm saying like Wendy, you want him to clean you up good. You know what I'm saying? Like my shit is clean as fuck right now. Wendy, what do you say? You want Cosmo to clean you the fuck up or what? You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't know. I'll have to get permission from my mother.
Well,
That
get
girl.
it, baby, because
Stick to the
that
answer.
permission slip needs to be signed by Tuesday. $10, and it will be clean as a whistle.
Wendy, you
What
don't have
do
to
you
listen
mean,
to this guy.
Cosmo? Cosmo's sucking on some
Oh, Cosmic, give me some of that.
oodles of noodles. Cosmo is eating oodles of noodles right now.
Oh, it looks so good. Is that the,
Those look good.
that's the powder kind, the powder cheese.
Macaroni
The
for
best.
CEO.
He's eating that shells and cheese, baby. What you know about that, Wendy? You know about that shells and cheese, baby?
All right, I think
I
that's
sense a
enough of
little
that.
sexual tension in
It's
here.
not wet by now.
Yeah?
We are not doing it for you, girl.
I think I got another video to watch now.
Honestly.
Just
No,
talk
it's
to you
not
guys.
wet
Wow.
right now.
Imagine that. Just
Oh,
talk.
Jay, you failed.
It's so wet.
I only get wet when I drink.
What do I gotta do to get you that, Wendy? You want to drink my pussy juice? Will that get you drunk?
Whoa. that
Wendy
was
has
good,
standards. She
Travis.
don't
What
just
are you
take any
eating,
dick.
Apple?
Quesadilla and an apple.
Wendy's very selective about her dicks. You making that apple
She should be.
quesadilla?
She's a star. I'm gonna eat apple.
So, I was watching Revenge of the Sis like I do every day. I never miss an episode. But something funny happened at the end. Let's see. Let's listen to it for a little bit.
Oh, give him a chance.
It's a very genuine laugh.
Part 2? Should I?
I like that they go like, oh, the things we did this month, and they go to that guy and he's like, requested nudes from many, many people on Facebook and called them baby. Baby princess girl.
India. I'm busted and
Now,
with button lover.
I just want you to keep in mind it's about to get very loud in your headphones.
With Ranveer Singh.
Who? Should we supposed to know who that is?
I barely understood what that person was
I
saying.
haven't been to a 7-Eleven in a while. Is that someone I should know?
Yeah, that's great. Pack of Marlboro Lights, please. And
Appreciate it.
also, I got get a hot dog.
Attended the Met Gala for the first time, dressed by Jeremy Scott.
Hello, I am fashion.
I'll be right back.
That's the dude from Diane Wood, right?
I guess.
That's what it looks like.
By the way, I do love that, you always have to put some thought into this as far as making these videos goes. This was the best and the brightest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Top tier.
So I want to know how many people submitted for this video that didn't make the cut.
Kevin McDurden. Every app is a dating app if you're Indian enough.
Hello, Uber. Yes, I would like to see a beautiful breast, please. Do you need to go to Burger King or not?
Sean.
And said, what up? Did the pick up?
Wow, look at her next to an actual pretty girl.
Presented at the Glad Media Awards.
God.
Attended the Grammys and took over Alicia Keys' social media for the night.
Oh, we see you. We're like, I'll see you later. Okay.
She's like
nothing to do with
Thanos. She does.
Well, you know what's nice about listening to Revenge of the Sis every once in a while is that I get the content that I don't pay for on Red Bar. So I don't know.
don't even know who you are.
Oh, I thought you just meant she looks like Thanos.
The hands, same size. Same size.
Same jaw.
Yeah.
See you at the house later. So I'll call you later. No, you hang up. You hang up.
She's like, yo, you took everything I love. And Michelle Obama's like, I don't even know who you are. It really is like that.
Just throws her keys to her. It's the red Range Rover.
That would have been amazing.
He loves to play.
And a billboard in Times Square for
A white person was allowed in this?
Yeah, German though. So.
Oh, okay. She looks like what's her face? Fucking Brie Larson's ugly cousin.
the second year.
Andy Cruz podcast says they act like their shit doesn't stink.
Attended Vogue India's Women of the
They
Year.
got like 29,000 subscribers.
Anyone could attend the Emmys and present now. Have you seen the ratings on that thing?
It's weird
Who
too with
cares?
the things they say that they're
I'll
able
tell
to
you,
get
okay.
big.
Fucking Ricky Gervais.
And maybe Kevin Hart.
The Late Show.
Like, it's weird. Their whole thing is, YouTube is trying to shut people down, especially the right wing, for saying edgy things. So either they're not edgy, or they don't do an edgy show, or they're being hyperbolic when they talk about things like that. Maybe a bit of both.
James Corden.
Hosted the Macy's
Another show where they have to have you on.
Thanksgiving Day Parade with Terry Crews. I'm telling you, our energy.
I like Terry Crews. I'm actually a fan of Terry Crews, but Terry Crews will literally do anything.
Yeah.
Together, spin-off sitcom.
I'm waiting for one to just go. Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
I'm
you
waiting
hear
for
that?
one to go. Said the N-word.
All right.
Yeah. So Lily
You guys
Singh,
see Royce
not doing
moving
the
quick again.
F1
Tell you, our energy.
I like Terry. They have to have you on.
Thanksgiving Day Parade with Terry Crews. I'm telling you, our energy.
I like Terry Crews. I'm actually a fan of Terry Crews, but Terry Crews will literally do anything.
Yeah.
Together, spin-off sitcom.
I'm waiting for one to just go. Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
I'm waiting for one to go. Said the N-word. Oh.
I'm actually a fan of Terry Crews, but Terry Crews will literally do anything.
Yeah.
Together, spin-off sitcom.
I'm waiting for one to just go. Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Dude, check out the biceps on that motherfucker. Royce is so jacked.
Spin-off sitcom.
I'm waiting for one to just go. Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Boom. And then if you look real close, there's a little bit of some sweaty going on in there.
I'm waiting for one to go. Said the N-word.
Yeah, look at that. That's so funny. Merz is just like, good luck with that shit. I ain't getting fucking. Hey, yo, good luck with all that. I'm not getting burned up. Fuck that. Is the couch on fire? I'm good. Oh, this is hilarious.
Yeah. So Lily Singh, not doing good. Also,
Yeah.
the fire alarm.
So the show must go on. So
I think something might be getting overcooked, perhaps, or perhaps there's a situation brewing right now, folks. This is breaking news from the ROTC news desk. I don't know how well it's picking. Is the mic picking it up really bad?
house is
or
on fire.
Please press one in the chat if it's if it's picking up really loud. Everybody's laughing, so now we'll be fine. It's all right. We're having a small
It's not
office
serious.
fire. People are saying,
Well,
yeah, and you guys know how that works
if you
too.
just hear Royce in the background like, motherfucker, I'm on fire. He's like ducking and rolling and shit. God damn it! And then you hear the extinguisher. He's just sitting there doing the show. Yeah, if you guys want to donate, that would be like totally cool.
We as 9/11 has proven, it only takes a couple sheets of paper burning to make an entire steel cement structure fall to the ground, completely flat and without warning. So we're very concerned about that. We don't want shit to get all Building 7 around here. You know what I mean? So, but Lily Singh, of course. I'm still waiting for her to admit I said the N-word. Other things of that nature.
Dinner's done, but there's still a little smoke down there.
Wait, I gotta see this again. So Royce made an entrance again.
And without warning. So we're very concerned about that. We don't want shit to get all Building 7 around here. You know what I mean? So, but Lily Singh, of course. I'm still waiting for her to admit I said the N-word.
Dinner's done, but there's still a little smoke down there.
I smelled it, so I was starting to smell a little. I thought it was a nice.
Well, let's go ahead and end the show.
Nice char.
Let's go ahead and end the show there. That should be good enough.
All right, great. This is a great way to go out, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Sorry about that, guys. Everything's fine. Nothing's on fire or anything. But
sure,
thank you for
like
listening.
You've
That's
been
how you end the
spared.
show.
God spared you from more Lily Singh.
You're welcome. Well, time's up anyway for the show. Nightwave?
Yeah, we'll be there at 10 o'clock
If
tonight.
the house isn't on...
So, I actually thought about something for a second today. I usually don't fuck with the election too much anymore, or politics in general, really. I know what I think, and nobody else is going to convince me anything else, and I don't really need to watch people to tell me the shit I already believe. So, anyway, I got to thinking, though, and, like, people are actually taking Elizabeth Warren seriously. I hope that she fucking doesn't touch the candidacy, dude. Like, it has to suck so bad being a dude on that stage, because no matter what you like, you either have to sit there and be like a cuck I mean, being a Democrat, right? You have to stand on that stage and be like, "Oh, Elizabeth Warren, yeah, that's a very good idea, very thought. Why are you mansplaining?" And then you got to be like, no, what I meant was, okay, so I wouldn't understand what you said the first time." It's just like this catty, like it would be my idea of hell, but that's the kind of party you want to be in, bud. You got to deal with that shit. Oh wait, what was I say? That happened. Maybe it's house alarm. Yeah, maybe he got swatted. Who knows? But yeah, they ended the show right there and then. But anyway, yeah, back to this whole thing. I don't know, Elizabeth Warren, dude. She's whacked, and like even the other people on the stage know it. They're like, okay, that's a really great idea. You want to end this? You want to end that? You want to raise funds for this, and you want it to happen all magically, but you have no plan or explanation on how you're going to do this thing. And then she just goes off to, like, ignores that, and then just goes on this tirade about lower class people struggling, and it's just nonsense, man.
Senator Harris, I'm so sorry. We will let all of you speak. Senator Harris.
Hey guys, you know what? America does not want to witness a food fight. They want to know how we're going to put food on their table.
Like this, and I used to eat this shit up when I was younger. It's weird how I got suckered into this shit. Like I got my heartstrings tugged down a little bit. I was like, man, Republicans just don't care about people. I don't know. It's easy, I guess, to get suckered into that shit. But I came up in a time when it was very easy to be propagandized to. There was things like Loose Change came out on YouTube and all these. So it wasn't necessarily that I was like a hardcore liberal or anything like that. It was just that I came up in a time when the current administration was Republican, and it's always edgy to be anti-establishment, right? And so when you're younger, you're like, oh, I don't want to be, fuck the establishment, fuck the government, who's in charge, fuck them, you know what I'm saying? So I came up in that, and it was just a lot easier to be like, George Bush, man, he's a fucking faggot, blah, blah, blah. But, you grow up and you learn things, and I don't know.
Vice President Biden, do you agree today that you were wrong to oppose busing in America then?
No.
Do you agree?
I did not oppose busing in America. What I opposed is busing ordered by the Department of Education. That's what I opposed.
Well, there was a failure of states to integrate public schools in America. I was part of the second class to integrate Berkeley, California public schools almost 2 decades after Brown v. Board of Education.
Because...
it's interesting. All these people hate against white people. They don't hate against them. They just think that, blacks are discriminated against. Okay, whatever. My point is, why you want to go to school with whitey so bad? What's the big deal? If we're such evil fuckers, dude. Oh, maybe we figured something out, and you could learn some shit from us. Okay, whatever.
Your city council made that decision. It was a local decision.
So that's where the federal government must step in. That's why we have the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act. That's why we need to pass the
Some guy, I hate to agree with you, but you might be right.
I was 6 years old when a presidential candidate came to the California Democratic Convention and said, it's time to pass the torch to a new generation of Americans. That candidate was then Senator Joe Biden.
Well, what happened when women got the vote, it was a lot easier to pull on heartstrings. And it was a lot easier to sway people through emotion, than logic. So, my opinion, maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? I think I'm fucking right.
Joe Biden was right when he said it was time to pass the torch to a new generation of Americans 32 years ago. He's still right today. If we're going to solve the issues of automation, pass the torch.
Senator Sanders, I'll give you 10 seconds just to answer the very direct
1920,
question.
Helen DeKellar.
Raise taxes for the middle class in a Sanders
They got to dike it out in 69.
People who have health care under Medicare for All will have no premiums, no deductibles, no co-payments, no...
Here's a crazy little factoid. up until I think 1968, if you sold a house, it was like totally cool to be like, hey, listen, I'm selling you this house, but in the deed it says, don't sell this to any fucking Jews or blacks, all right? And the buyer would be like, oh, of course not. What do you think, I'm crazy? It was like totally cool up until 1968.
Out-of-pocket expenses, yes, they will pay more in taxes, but less in health care for what they get.
The Temperance League, yeah.
To bring about a day when a white person driving a vehicle and
Boardwalk
a black
Empire
person
was a
driving
great
a
show.
when they see a police officer approaching, feels the exact same thing. A feeling not of fear, but of safety. I am determined to bring that day about.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. If you are president, what specifically would you do with the thousands of people who try to reach the United States every day and want a better life through asylum?
See what was going on with prohibition. You know, it was a big problem. Alcohol was a big problem, but it was more the I hate to sound SJW, but there were less safety nets for women. So there's no fucking birth control or anything, so people would just get knocked up. They'd have 6 kids, 7 kids, and then the guy'd be like, hey, yeah, fuck this, I'm out of here, and just bounce. And there was no way to find them. They didn't have fingerprint records, anything like that. So it was just, a guy would disappear, and all of this societal, turmoil, I guess, or whatever, was being put on the churches because there was less, the government wasn't involved as much to offer help for people. So you go to the church. Anyway, so all of a sudden, and these guys who were sticking around, they'd be fucking drunk, pissed drunk all the time, beat, because they had shitty jobs, didn't get paid well, come home, beat the shit out of their wife, and these women would fucking, and then run off or whatever, and they'd go to these churches and, complain in the church, and then they'd, yeah, exactly, a snowball. The Temperance League was a big part of the Prohibition movement. And there was some back deals too, like if if you get women to vote, then we'll get them to vote for this bill to get passed or whatever. My daughter's smartwatch keeps going off right now. Fuck, and I don't know how to turn it off. So I guess we're gonna deal with that with this stream.
I will ensure that this microphone that the President of the United States holds in her hand is used in a way that is about reflecting the values of our country and not about locking children up, separating them from their parents.
If you'd ever told me any time in my life that this country would sanction federal agents to take children from the arms of their parents, put them in cages, actually put them up for adoption, in Colorado we call that kidnapping, I would have told you it was unbelievable.
Governor, you're right. It is kidnapping, and it's extremely important for us to realize that. If you forcibly take a child from their parents' arms, you are kidnapping them. And if you take a lot of children and you put them in a detainment center, thus inflicting chronic trauma upon them, that's called child abuse. This is collective.
What do you guys think? I know a lot of you guys are red-blooded, red-pilled Americans like myself, but what do you think about the kids in cages thing? Like, is there a better alternative? And if we came up with a better alternative, would that spike more people wanting to come over? If we offered some incentive to okay, hey, listen, instead of cages, we'll have these awesome daycare centers instead. I mean, would that deter illegal immigration, or would it foster more of them to come over? So, and I don't know. I think that the guard's job is to keep people out of here and not bring more in. So, if that's antithetical to their objective, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Child abuse. And when this is crime, both of those things are a crime. And if your government does it, that doesn't make it less of a crime. These are state-sponsored crimes.
Hey, Sam, why don't you call in and start talking shit?
It's not true.
That's impossible.
Beta.
So have you, any of you guys? I just did this one like last night. Russell Cook. I'm a nerd. I heard for Sam say it's impossible, and I was like, fuck it, man. I got like 10 minutes. I'll do something with that. But yeah, Frank. Where's Frankie been? You guys know? You know what? The advantage of going on camera is, well, there's several advantages. For one, I would get to show off my Hollywood looks. But secondly, is that you can take like a lot longer to think, and without it being like awkward or weird, right? If I say, because Hostbuster will sit there and he'll do like a dramatic like, oh, RDA's doing a show, huh? And then he'll take like a puff, and it like looks all cool. Like a Scorsese film. So I don't know, maybe I'll do some more on cam shit. I just don't want people to fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm an OG, man. I can't lose my job, my family, over some internet shit. What do we get into? Did Ian Ellis put anything up lately? Might have to go back into the vault for a minute till I find something juicy. What the fuck? Sometimes I just clickbait my stream names. Like this one I just named How to Make Money on YouTube. What a dork. So now like I have no idea what that stream is about. That is a big failure of mine. What's this?
I think it's going to be HB, but you were funnier than me. I'm smarter than you.
Oh, you said that just so you could say you're smarter than me.
I was waiting for the one.
No, I said that because I've read more than one novel.
Guess what? I got street smart, you fucking queer.
Oh, I'm no queer. I got this.
I mean that in the old. See, if you read words from the before it meant gay, you would know that I meant weird. I'm more well read than you.
The Old Testament.
You don't read. You know about the origins of the word queer.
All right, let's say you are smarter than me. All of that fucking impressiveness of that goes out the window because you're holding it over my head like a fucking door.
What's wrong with that?
I will say, and everybody has their own opinion. I'll say that their last 12-hour stream was pretty fucking good, man. It was 12 hours long. There's a lot to peel through, but that's, I think, what gets so many views on a 12-hour stream is like people are like, fuck, I watched, I could only watch like an hour and a half at this time. Now, fuck, and then they go back, and then they go back, and then they go back. So it racks up the views. So I don't know. I'd be interested if Hostbuster could get in there and find out how many unique views he got from that, and you can find out your reach too, like if it came from different people. Sam Hill is besting them all, Tom says. Russell Cook says it was long, but it was good. Hey, that's what she said, buddy. Who that nerdy-looking fella bottom left, Tom? Little monkey man. All right, I can't keep up with you guys with that stuff. I'll keep playing this.
Because it's embarrassing, dude. Nobody cares that you're more educated than me. People care what you do with it. People care what you accomplish in life.
Cliche is not true. Of course, they care what I do with it, where I went, what my credibility is. But keep going, HB. This is kind of nice arguing with you. I'll go.
Is it? Yeah. So my point is that it's really, you come across as really unlikable when you say you're smarter than somebody because you have a degree. Like, that's so douchey, dude.
So
like Hostbusters, I think is a good host, because, well, he has a gravitas to his voice. He sounds like and kind of looks like a 43-year-old dude. Like he's just been through life. He knows a thing or two about life. Like you can accept, like if he was like some clean cut, like ripped guy. I don't know. It just wouldn't be, when he would say something, it just wouldn't make. I don't know. I'm stumbling right now.
Oh, are
You don't hear her bragging about it all the time.
How dare you say that, Stooshy? I'm establishing credibility. Maybe you didn't want me to talk about you're not reading.
No. It's not when you establish.
He looks, even though Sam Hill cracks on him because he doesn't read or whatever, and he tries to make it sound like he's dyslexic. Well, I don't know. You look at him and you can take advice from a guy like that because it just seems like he's smart.
Credibility and say, I'm talking about this psychiatric thing from a psychiatric perspective because I have this degree. It's you saying, I've read a lot. I'm Sam Hill. I have 15 degrees and I'm better than you.
Wow.
Is that the real Sam Hill in our chat? Someone find out.
You smashed me. I think you're probably right.
How do we test them? How do we make sure it's the real Sam?
Like they're the most famous person on the world.
They do. I can't fake the funk. That's the reason why.
So people are in a rush to make it. I don't blame you. It's shitty not making it. I wish
Right.
I could make it. But one good thing about being stuck where the fuck I'm at is I feel like if I had made it at any different point.
So you hear when, I mean, everybody knows this is kind of hacky to bring up, but I'll still do it. So you can clearly hear the black in Ian Ellis's voice.
I would have leveled off there, and that's about where my creativity would have stopped because I would have got locked into the system at that point. And I'd be like, this is as much as I can get away with.
Locked into the system? Okay.
Yeah.
And it would have taken me a while to, like, you know, have the comfort to want to break out of my cage for me to start doing something original
and we see
again.
examples of it.
But here, like, when you ain't got nothing to lose, it's like, all right, let's really cut loose and see what the fuck we could do.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a no-stakes game.
Yeah. I think that
which has been good for me as an artist.
there's examples of you getting it too fast. Gary Owen is an example of you getting it too fast. Chris Tucker is an example of you getting it too fast.
Probably Kevin Hart and Amy Schumer. You know.
Yeah.
Maybe Judd Apatow, if he had one more semester, could write a third act.
Yeah.
Maybe he would have been a great director instead of a good director.
Yeah, I mean, and granted, I get it. Like, if you getting your money, I get it. Whatever.
It's hard to turn down.
Yeah.
What, are you going to turn down money and be like...
let me get better at this.
Yeah.
You're saying this is good enough? Then fuck it. You know, but for me, I'm just like... I'm just a dork-ass loser artist, and the art is really important to me. I'm one of those people that, like, money is not always money is not the most motivating factor for me.
Let me tell you, it's hard to get those lessons to grow because I'm such a narcissist. I always feel like, oh shit, this is it. I'm at the peak.
Oh man, I don't know. After going through life, I think that money is super important, and I feel like if you focus on money first, and then you can take care of all of your problems. Because a lot of people are unhappy because they're not quite where they want to be comfortable, right? And it's frustrating to see like this idea of normality being projected. Like, you know, when you watch TV. Most people live in New York or Los Angeles, and they're going out and they're having a good time, and they live in these, you know, flats that overlook the city, and, you know, on Friends, they're going to Central Perk and they're sipping these lattes and shit like that, right? Okay. And then these people are breaking their backs, and they're like, what the fuck, man? My life's nothing like this. So there's always this, there's this guy, Robert Merton, came up with the idea of strain theory. So, like, there's this societal strain for you to want to achieve that. And man, I got lost. What the fuck were we talking about? But yeah, anyway, let me rewind this so I know what the hell I'm talking about.
This is as good as I'm gonna get.
dork ass loser artist, and the art is really important to me. I'm one of those people that like money is not always the money is not the most motivating factor for me.
Let me tell you, it's hard to get those lessons to grow because I'm.
Oh yeah. So once you have all of your financial shit taken care of, then all you have to focus on at that point is being happy and pursuing passions. So yeah, I don't know. That's one way of looking at it. Like somebody gave me some good advice one time. Like if you're a painter, right? You like painting, like Kenny TV. He loves to paint, right? But he loves to paint, and he also wants to make money off of selling his paintings. Well, he should just paint houses instead. And then you're killing two birds with one stone.
I'm such a narcissist. I always feel like,
if not, find something else to make a lot of money so that you can just do painting and be passionate about it, and then you don't have to sell it. You're just doing the art for the sake of the art.
oh shit, this is it. I'm at the peak. This is as good as I'm gonna get. Like, I'm always impressed I pull off anything. So I definitely wouldn't have grown as much if I had fucking had any success. I want the success. Give me the money, guys. I'll do anything for money.
You'll be
Give
the
me
next
a Sprite.
Steve on Blue's Clues.
I'll be up
3.0.
there dancing for children. You'll never hear me swear again. Let me get some change in my life money. Which brings me to my retirement. I will be retiring at 40 because I can't justify this hobby forever.
I don't feel like it's a hobby.
Well, we killing it. We
You
doing
guys are
good.
getting buffering. I might have
Network
to drop
is doing
my
great. Ross Dog.
bit
Shout out
rate.
to the RDA LLC. Ian's channel is doing great. That's all Lane. He's got all that.
Are you retiring from podcasting and all that shit, or are you retiring from stand-up?
I'll still always do something creative.
Yeah.
I just probably won't make any effort towards stand-up at all. I'll be
Gotcha.
like, I'm just making weird shit on the internet now.
Yeah.
And maybe that would be better. Maybe that would be a whole new creative avenue. But
Yeah.
As far as like wanting to have a career as a stand-up, you can only justify this shit for so long.
Yeah.
I got a wife. I got a kid. You know.
I'm still out here
I gotta
thugging,
live my life.
you know.
Yeah. You still got some gangsta in you. I'm giving it till 40. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. If I hadn't seen certain people make it,
I
when they
hope
made
that
it,
helps, guys.
I
I'm
would
sorry.
probably
You hold out for those stories, but then I also see people like Joe Matarese, who's like, he's now selling his house. He has a wife and 3 kids, and moving them into an apartment so he can pour money into like another failed scheme. And it's like,
Who is Joe Matarese?
He's a New York comic. But it's like, you're destroying lives over this obsession. Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing, fam?
Yeah. And I think
You've had every opportunity. This
Yeah.
dude's been on all the shows.
No, because I know that name, but I'm trying to put the face.
He's on fucking Last Comic Stand-In, Tonight Show, Jay Leno, Conan, fucking had all the New York comics vouch for him at one
Yeah.
time or another. Best friends with Artie Lang. He's had every opportunity to be a breakaway star. It ain't happening. You maybe could build something personal, but you're going to have to realize.
What do you guys think of Ian's move to go after Luis J. Gomez? I think he likes the guy. I think he begrudgingly feels like he has to go after Luis J. Gomez now because there's the Revenge of the Cis Alliance. And he's like, well, shit. Revenge of the Cis knows about me. 100% I know they know about me. There's no way they can ignore my Philip Wave movement. And now, if I can become a fucking thorn in Luis J. Gomez's side, I'll be taking rent up in his fucking head too.
Like the boundaries of that and live within that terrarium. You can't keep risking lives.
Yeah, dude. And that's real talk. No, I get that, but there's still some fight in this old bitch.
Let me throw some shade real quick. Like one of my enemies, he's older than me, so he's got to be 39 or 40.
All right, let me
He's
try
living with
something
his
else. Maybe
parents,
I'll
working
hire
as
the
a
bit rate,
waiter
see if
at the
that helps me
Olive
out.
Garden. Got a wife and a kid. Well, got
Guaranteed
an
it
ex-wife
does.
and a kid. It's like, dude, time to buckle down.
Yeah.
This shit ain't popping.
Yeah. Hey man, even Rodney Dangerfield took a break, fam, to get it right.
Yeah, he was selling aluminum siding.
Yeah.
Dude, funny. People recognized him from The Tonight Show while he was out there selling siding. Hey, I got a car payment, okay? Yeah, it was a great set. You gonna get this? Can we get you a waterproof? I'll autograph it for you.
What color do you want?
I love Rodney.
Yeah. But yeah, the hustle is real. I also think that, like, you know what I'm saying, like, the great thing is like, the more you discover, you know what I'm saying, your lane, and you really start finding your audience and kind of get into a swing of shit, like, it's a lot.
You can get a little, I don't need the industry confidence.
No.
Once people are fucking with you off the strength of you. And that's a very useful thing to have.
No, he does. Oh!
That's why I played it. That's why I played it.
I hate this guy.
That's why I played it.
What is with this fucking guy, man?
It helps form a bond stronger than something really strong. I speak not of polydent, but of abstinence. At least according to a young man named Steven Crowder. Who's he? Who argues in his latest column that abstinence is kind of awesome. Crowder muses on why abstinence remains a punchline despite offering plenty of benefits to being friends without benefits. Forget that abstinence leads to approximately 0 STDs or studies that show, at least in successful marriages, it's the unbeatable bond of trust that's the real prize. Yes, says Crowder, there's no more worrying about your significant other cheating on you because partners can be supremely confident in their respective self-control, unlike the inventors of the new South American butt dance.
That is an injury.
That is just
That is
unusual.
not I think you got a acceptable. Concussion.
That'll put me off sex forever. Steve, here's my question. It's admirable. When do you stop? When do you stop with the abstinence? How will you know it's time?
Well, once you have a ring on your finger, obviously. The only way to know for sure is once you're married. And of course, people know I'm a Christian. This column is not at all pushing faith in anybody. It's just talking about the actual benefits. If you really want to argue...
I just love this clip. I don't know. I saw this clip a long time ago before Crowder was even relevant. Because it was an Amy Crowder clip. Or Amy Crowder. I'm so tired. The fuck's that bitch's name? Miss Piggy.
For abstinence, you can stop the argument and be abstinent, don't get sick and die.
Yeah.
But, I can say from personal experience that it does build a bond of trust. Constantly you hear women, how often do you hear, well, don't you trust me? It's like, no, you slept with me on the first date. So of course I don't trust you.
It's that old thing like...
Amy Schumer. Yeah, there we go.
Right.
It's, she's going to sleep with me, then she'll sleep
Usually
with
because I'm
anybody.
Canadian, they won't let me in.
Yeah.
Except for Canadian Club Ginger Ale.
He looks like Johnny Bravo.
Yes, but also, if I sleep with a guy on the first date, usually if a guy holds my hand, he's going to wind up. So here's the thing. I don't think that women should use sex as a bargaining chip, and a lot of them do. If I want to sleep with someone, I do it. And I am a monogamous slut. Can I say that on air?
Yeah, I think you can.
Great.
That's not what we're worried about.
But what I'm saying is, I have a higher risk of disease. I also have a much higher risk of fun.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is to prove my point by saying that, you don't think it should be used as a bargaining tool.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as, the kind of point of the column is that abstinence is the one taboo issue regarding sex. I mean, it's like, oh, be a dirty stand-up comic. You're cracking new ground there, Copernicus. But once you talk about abstinence, everyone all of a sudden, they put you, like, right now, we have to talk about it. Because who is this kid who's talking about abstinence who,
Well, it's who's this kid who's, 23. You don't know who you're going to be sexually yet. So to talk about it with such authority and arrogance.
I don't know who I'm going to be what?
You don't know who you're going to be sexually yet. You're going to be into really weird things in about a decade.
Oh, I have no doubt. I have no doubt.
Trust me. And the thing is, it doesn't...
I guarantee he is, too.
Really do want to do that.
I mean, anybody who's worth their salt is.
You slip by the dirty comedian thing, but honestly, you call yourself a comedian, but you don't do it that much. Like, I go fishing a couple times a year, but I don't introduce myself on TV as a fisherman. Wow.
Well, it's not really personal for a concept about abstinence. I'm saying the whole point is that someone can get up on stage, we even talk about it in the column, and talk about anything dirty that they want, but the second you mention abstinence, people, they pucker with discomfort, like, oh no, we can't talk about this, and you're vilified as judgmental. Statistically, it's the healthiest thing to do. It is conducive towards a better marriage by a 25% spread, both physically...
It only takes that one person, though, and there's no contract that the person's not going to cheat on you because they're abstinent. She could fall in love with somebody else.
She's like, let me be a whore. God damn it.
Contract. That's what America
She could
is.
fall-
It's a contract.
It's a contract that more than 60% of people break.
No, actually, that's not true. Actually, if you even look at the new U.S. Census Bureau statistics, more than 70% of first-time marriages last.
Okay, but then the guy goes off and sleeps with a young boy.
Well,
Good, you guys stayed married, but then there's infidelity.
Well, once you bring out the statistics that guys are running around rampantly sleeping with young boys.
First of all, I'm not a boy. I know I have characteristics as such.
All I'm saying is yes, you're right. Of course, it is way safer.
Dude, Bill Schultz, I don't know what it is about. I mean, when CEO first started talking all this shit about these comedians, I was like, come on, guys. Like, you know, obviously you're just saying this to say it. But he's onto something. These guys are lame as fuck, dude. Like, I mean, I'm not claiming to be fucking Robin Williams or whoever you want to call a good comedian. Richard Pryor, I guess that's the big one, right? But yeah, I'm not going around saying I'm that, you know. Like, I couldn't imagine charging people to listen to my bullshit. And these guys ain't that much better than I am.
Safer to not have sex, but yeah, but if you have sex with one person, maybe they've had sex with one person. It only takes that one. I've probably had sex with, I don't know, a baker's 2 dozen, you know, and I'm fine.
You had sex with Mike Baker? He is happily married. He is thus proving your point.
He's hot. All I'm saying is not cheating with that contract.
You're abstinent, but not by choice.
No. He's bought me some absinthe because we've been practicing abstinence. But you bought absinthe for us to share. And
I thought it would lighten the mood and maybe get you naked.
Yeah.
Didn't either. Lots of vomiting. My point.
Sorry.
I would like to
jacket now.
say that even though I'm not as absent by choice, Teardrop, I thought it was a great column, and I thought he made some very good points. And there is a point to be made about how the fact that really the only taboo left is this.
Yeah.
I mean, there's really nothing less that'll get your shock factor up.
Yeah, no, it's true. And also, you know what? Your mom always said, Imogen, your mom always said, if you want respect, don't put out.
Exactly.
So there is, I mean, it's something that's handed down, and until you have kids, you might find yourself saying that.
And
right?
I do put it in my book. It's gone around the world, and I do on one level talk a bit about abstinence.
No, I'm not. I really am not fucking rapping. I'm just telling you. All right, here we go. You guys ready for this?
Purchase several tracks today.
Yeah. What? Get a bottle with him. Ross what? Ross dog. No, here we go. Yeah. I got 7 Mac 11s, about 8 38s, 9 9s, 10 Mac 10s. This shit never ends. You can't touch my riches, even if you had Donald Trump and those Miss America bitches. Big John, the millionaire, the mansion, the yacht, the cocaine spot, the 2 hot Glocks. That's how I got the weed spot. I shot Dread in the head, took the cake in the lamb spread. Little Gotti's got the shotty to your body, and don't resist or you might miss Christmas. I throw guns, we make number runs, we give MCs the runs dripping. When I put my clip in the AK, I spray from far away. Yo, everybody hit the DECK. My slow flow is remarkable. Peace to Mateo, now he smokes weed like Tony Montana sniff the yayo. That's crazy blunts, mad L's, my voice excels from the avenue to jail cell. Oh my God, I'm dropping shit like a pigeon. I hope you're listening, slapping babies at their christening. All right.
You go ahead.
The great Mark Lista.
Yeah, the golden ticket.
Cosmic, you'd really be doing me a favor if you would come here and give your argument about CEO moving the goalpost.
Yeah, do it for Ian.
I'll move that goalpost. I'll move it right in your face, nigga.
There he is.
Whoa!
we have
The big cat. We got him.
Do you guys ever realize CEO does the same shit over and over? Who does that, CEO? Honestly, do you do that in real life? Could you imagine working at a store? Could you imagine working somewhere and then CEO walks in and goes,
Move that goalpost on your face, nigga. Move the goalpost on your face.
Oh, CEO, you're not tough. Stop that. So can we draw? I want to go on with this Jim and Am parallels.
All right, Ian, go ahead.
Okay.
I'd like to call Rostog to the stand.
I'm still here, nigga.
Rostog, or not Rostog, Cosmic Cam.
Yeah.
I would like to hear your testimony on the idea that CEO is turning into Jimmernam and that he has
can we go
Jimmernam
through a
tactics.
checklist? Can we go through a checklist?
Let's go through the checklist, motherfucker. I dominated.
All right, so let's let the witness talk. Order.
See, this
Order.
is why he's very Timmerman.
Order some chicken. Go eat it. Order some chicken.
Yeah, put something in your mouth, CO. So, did CO filibuster Donate with 311 whenever they were arguing? Did he start playing music? Okay, well, you see, that's what he did. Well, that's a Jimmernam thing. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
That's one.
Did CO say like some homoerotic shit as a weird way of a joke or an insult? Oh, Donnell, I want to suck your dick.
I will testify here. The CEO did say that he wants to fuck Donnie in his booty hole.
No.
Yes. Exact words.
Say, pause.
And his child.
Pardon me.
He filibusters with the music. That's part one.
Okay, Jay, you're excused.
He wants to be fucked in the ass. Yeah, that's like a weird insult thing. And then anything, if I came in here seriously, I'm like, CEO, you're a two-faced piece of shit. He'd go, I am two-faced, Cosmic. I'm fucking two-faced. Hell yeah, I don't give a fuck, Cosmic. I am. That's Jimmy.
I'm not sure.
But I go, Jimmy, you're a bit of a hypocrite. I'm the king of hypocrites, baby. I'm the king of hypocrites.
Let's stay on the Jimmernam topic.
No, but that's what I'm.
Hey, Sam.
Hey, man. How you doing, man?
Good, bro. Like I got really nothing to talk about, but if you got a topic or anything, man, we could shoot this shit. I'm kind of like a boring, dull drone tonight.
Man, I don't think you could ever be boring, man. We could talk about Schindler's List. You kind of fucked up. You kind of fucked up my head a little bit with that. I guess. No, man. You brought up something. I don't know, man. Now with what do you think about this Iranian situation? I mean, Schindler is about evil and death and fighting, and what do you think about this Iranian situation there, Click?
My loose understanding of what's going on, like I guess so we have an embassy now. Why do we have embassies over there?
I don't think we do have an embassy in Tehran. I think we do in other countries.
Well, no, I think we have one in Iran. I think that's what they're Isn't that what they're attacking, or was that in Iraq?
I didn't watch the news tonight. Did something happen? I know they attacked. Was it the embassy in Iraq, Baghdad? I think if we're talking a couple days ago, yeah, man. I don't think we have
in Iraq. Yep. Okay, so I mean, if they attacked it, now was it an attack or like could it be like spun as like they're just protesting?
Yeah, they can say whatever they want. The curious thing is that it's the responsibility of a country to protect the embassies within their sphere. So they were part of a militia that were supported by the government of Iran. They were an Iraqi militia, but basically supported by Iran, and they stormed and they attacked, and the government in Iraq let those people in. So I don't think we have to do anything now. It is interesting that obviously we broke a law and killed that general. I'm not saying that we should not have done that. What do you think about Trump giving the order to kill that general, dude?
I have to see. I'm not over there, and I'm not. So I have to assume that it was the right move. I mean, we have a military for a reason. Those people are over there. They're involved. They have boots on the ground. They have fucking knowledge about people, locals and shit like that, and militias and insurgents. All that shit. They know exactly what's going on. Well, not exactly, but they have a good idea what's going on. So I trust our military. I feel like it's not like just Trump just makes an order and then he doesn't get any feedback on it. If he was to get feedback from his generals saying, hey, I don't think that's a great idea, they would tell him that, right? So I assume it was a good move.
No, man, I don't think we can presume. If you presume, then the Iraqi war was a good thing. The thing is, Click, that it's in the nature of military men to want to use force. It's in their nature. The real commanders, the president. So who knows what he was told? But I think I trust the military, that we have the best military in the world, but we're a democracy. So civilian president makes that decision. We don't give the decision making to the military. Position is formulated by the president and Congress, and then they follow the orders, whether they
but
agree.
he's informed by like the Secretary of Defense and his generals. He's not just out there blind. He knows things that we'll never find out. Maybe we'll only find out 30 years from now in declassified documents. So it's hard. It's hard to be objective there and say, yeah, because he knows so many more things that you and I just don't know.
Well, we're a democracy. That's what dictators do. They act without listening to the people, to Congress, and they are obligated to confer with Congress. Congress has. It's complicated. Here's an example that makes it more complicated. So I don't think the military wanted to pull out of Syria, right? In fact, I think he was getting advice from the military not to pull out of Syria. So he went in, did that anyway, and the military had to follow orders. So what you're saying is trust the military, but I think Trump and only a couple of those people made the decision. Now, I'm not saying he's wrong. The guy he killed, murdered, he was a really bad guy. But remember what happened to JFK. Now, JFK tried to assassinate Castro. There's a basic agreement that these leaders will not try to assassinate each other. And maybe that's what got JFK. Me, so who knows, maybe Castro had a part. So my point is, Click, that there's a basic agreement among leaders and top military people that we don't kill each other. So Trump did something, he violated a basic agreement, and we'll see what's going to happen. What do you think,
I don't know. I'm kind of a pragmatist, so like, I know that's an easy way out, but I just, I judge things after the fact, and I try to learn as much as I can. But I look at it and I say, well, who knows what that prevented? Maybe clapping back just like that and in such a ballsy way prevented something way worse.
Good point. I think he was a horrible man, no question about it, but there's a lot of horrible men in the world, and we don't take them out. Look at that guy in Venezuela. He's a mean guy, man. And so, you know what I'm saying? Just because someone's a bad guy, there's that basic agreement. And again, we'll have to see if it was worth it, because I think that he wanted and intended to kill many men. So I guess we'll just have to see what happens because of it. But remember, man, it's easy to enter a war. It's easy to get in a war, and we're damn good at winning. But the trouble is getting out of a war.
See, but I don't believe in just, I don't believe in just straight up good and evil. And that's what how do I put it? Like, I don't mind being quote unquote evil, to achieve our goals. Because, as I said, I'm a pragmatist. So I feel like at the end of the day, maybe America's not the best country in the world. I feel like it is, but what they call that ethnocentric, right, Sam? So, well,
centricism.
Yeah, I'm a victim of ethnocentrism, as is anybody, right? So I view my
Most
culture through the
people,
lens of my culture.
of course.
And hold on. Sir, I haven't got my trousers off yet. So
I'm sorry.
So anyway,
the band back on.
I say what's best for us is the best way to go, and because I don't think we're bad guys. I don't think really anybody is a bad guy. Like when it comes to a country, there might be bad people in charge that manipulate weak people. There might be a country with a decentralized government that allows zealots to take control, and religious fundamentalists to get footholds in them. So I don't know. I feel like if we can
Hitler, man. Hitler was a bad guy.
He was, but how did he get power? I don't know. He was elected, right?
He circumstances brought him to power. People like, for instance, the people with the money, the business people thought they could control him, and then he got lucky. But look, and Helen can come in on this. I think there are bad governments, and we are the best. Look at China, them killing and putting their minority Muslim groups in camps. Look at Iran, not giving their people real freedom. We are the best in the world, and sometimes we have to do bad things to achieve the greater good. And I've talked about Hiroshima dropping a bomb, but yeah, man, it's the real world, and I'm a pragmatist.
If your wife was affected from that, you'd feel differently.
Is that what? So I also liken the Middle East to Japan.
It's kind of funny.
I think that would work, because what happens is you got a bunch of people who don't even have like a television. They might have a radio signal. They don't know what's going on at all. They just know they're very localized. They're very tribal in the way that they think. They just what's best for them. I'm talking about the Middle East. A lot of the Middle East is what I'm talking about.
It depends on the country.
It does, but hold on. So so it's easy. So just like in Japan, they didn't when the first bomb was dropped, a lot of people in Japan, they didn't believe it when you told them, "Hey, listen, dude, no, I'm serious. This wiped out the entire city of Nagasaki," or which one got hit first, Hiroshima. Anyway, they were like, "It's gone. It is gone in the blink of an eye." Everybody's like, "Okay, whatever." Second one hit. Then finally they were like, "All right, fuck this." And you know how the Japanese culture was? They were samurais. They'd fall on their sword before they would fucking surrender. So it's
the samurai, but the populace, they believed that their emperor was a god. So in a religious sense, even the people, if we had not bombed Hiroshima and had to invade the mainland, they would have fought the last death, the people. So your point is correct, I think.
That's how but we're also dealing with people who use terrorism, yes. And they use they use suicide bombers. It's not the same mentality, but a similar mentality. They're like a kamikaze.
Yes.
So it's like you almost have to break the will of the people. You have to fucking just dominate, because they respect. It's almost like they follow strength, and yeah. Go ahead.
We broke Japan through a nuclear bomb, but if we used a nuclear bomb in Iran, think what the winds would do. It would spread it all over. That's what I'm saying. This is a powerful nation. They don't refer to themselves as Arabs, but they're Persians, and they're educated people. They're not like some of the other people in the Middle East. These are really smart people. Plus, you have a lot of people in revolt against that theocratic government. It's complicated, and I don't have the answer. I was just curious what you thought, and even what Helen thinks.
Helen?
Kind of. A little bit, maybe not. I'm not sure.
I just know God bless Walmart, where you can buy anything.
God bless Walmart. No, man, Walmart is evil. Listen, man.
So evil, then why am I shopping
Sam,
here?
Sam, I look at it like
you're not
this.
patriotic.
I look at it like this. If you got somebody who's a bad motherfucker and hiding out in your country and you can't figure out how to take care of them, then let us figure it out or shut the fuck up. Not you, I'm saying the country. You know, like all this shit in Mexico, for instance, right? All this cartel bullshit. Okay, Mexico, you can't figure it out yourself? Okay, fuck it. We're coming in there, we'll deal with it. It'd be over in 2 days.
I disagree. I don't think it'd be over in 2 days. Those first of all, most people in the Mexican government would consider us invaders, and the narcos are. Oh well, what, man?
That's
Look,
what I would
here's
say.
the thing.
I would highly suggest that they figure it out themselves then.
Okay, dude, listen. I don't want to have thousands of American lives going into Mexico to die. I want what's best for America, and I don't want our American lives to die for a problem that the Mexicans should solve or not solve.
Yeah,
Look,
but when it's affecting us, it does become an international problem.
But the
Right.
problem is that we need to.
That's right.
The problem. Go ahead, Helen. Go.
No, I said the Walmart background noise. That wasn't me. Go ahead.
Well, Walmart put a lot of the good small businesses out of business, and Walmart, man, buys most of their stuff from China. So Walmart is making China stronger, and China is really the only other superpower besides us. So if you go to Walmart, you're also supporting China. So things are complicated.
Guess what my boss is? My boss is Asian.
Oh, you're cutting in and out.
There, you think? Oh,
I
was just saying my boss is Asian. And that's where I got the gift card to for Christmas. Was from my boss. He's Asian. So you're saying there's a conspiracy?
No, there's no conspiracy. I don't see what being Asian means. What are you saying there, Helen? Make your point, man. You're kind of smart. Kind of. Maybe. Maybe not.
Sam, also you got to understand, you can't. Yes, there are a lot of negatives that come with a place like Walmart and the whole ideal of McDonaldization, right? Things getting streamlined, and even if that means people being fired or whatever, or laid off and losing their job.
Right.
But there are so many consumer goods that are being brought so cheap that the quality of life for those who already are poor has gone up tremendously in the last probably 15, 20 years because they're able to get cheap fucking shit. You know, I mean, even though it's like not great quality and American jobs are lost, they also have gained jobs. There are, Walmart employs a lot of people. Maybe they don't pay them very good, but one of their biggest sins is that they subsidize their wages by not paying enough to where they incentivize employees to come work for them because they can work there, get a paycheck, and still qualify for assistance.
Well, I think you bring up good points. Poverty worldwide has gone down, and I think it comes down to we do pay less money, but maybe some of us would pay a little bit more. But what's happened with Walmart is we used to have a middle class, and we're getting less and less of a middle class because those people with the low-paying jobs can't afford to, say, buy a house in the bigger cities. So it's complicated, man. It's complicated. But just going to Walmart, I miss the smaller stores. Now, we can't do much about it, I guess. It's complicated.
It's very inconvenient, too, though. If you were to go back to that for just now that
Yeah, but you
now that
can't
you've
go
tasted
back.
the forbidden fruit? Like, imagine having to go to all those goddamn different stores to get everything that you needed instead of just getting it in one trip and getting it cheaper and getting it like and knowing it's there, not being like, well, I'm sorry, I guess we're out. We'll have to wait till next Thursday when the truck comes in. So there's all these other factors that also come into play, right?
And it's easy, say you're a millionaire liberal, to say, like Bill Maher said, a recession might be good because it would defeat Trump. What a bunch of shit, fucking
What a
shit.
retard.
What about people just trying to get by? So it's not that simple. You can't stop change even if we want, even though you get a few freaky people like me who kind of refuse to buy into the technology. These old people who talk about the good old days, first of all, they don't know what they're talking about.
Do
Because
you liken yourself to what is that? Henry David Thoreau?
Yeah, can you tell? I know a little bit about Thoreau. Can you tell us what you know about Thoreau?
I'm not sure if it's the guy. Is that the guy who wrote Walden Pond?
He went off in a cabin by himself into nature, and he wrote this classic book called Walden's Pond, just like you said. Basically, one can retreat from civilization or society on an individual basis. I don't think it's feasible for most people, do you? Especially if you have a family, kids, etc. But
Right.
it's a romanticized version. Romance isn't always so cool when you look at the reality. There's nothing cool about being poor, really, because like when you want to go to the doctor, you can't afford it. You have to feed yourself. So we have to look at what's real and what's not. And you said you were pragmatic, and I say we look at pragmatically the consequences of conflict with Iran and learn if we give the choices to the military by their nature, say the Marine Corps, their whole paradigm is to invade.
No. I don't
No?
agree with that necessarily.
Okay.
Their
They're
incentive is to get paid and go home, man. Like, they don't want to go into war. That's the last thing. That's a lot of people are actually pissed at Trump on the right because they voted for the guy because he was so against starting shit over there and getting people back. You know, and he always lectured Obama and even George Bush for being in Iraq in the first place. So that's what a lot of people are twisted up about this war.
First of all, I agree with you on some level, but I'll disagree with you with some proof. You're saying that, well, let's talk, maybe not the people on the ground, but sometimes the top people in the military, the generals, want to go too far without thinking. The classic example is during the Cuban Missile Crisis, the generals wanted to invade Cuba and drop bombs on Cuba. JFK didn't listen, and he retreated, and I think history validates JFK.
Yeah, it was
Now, look at the
Bay of Pigs.
Look at yeah, exactly, man. And look at Vietnam. Generals basically were pro going into Vietnam, and it's complicated, man. It's complicated, but we are a democracy, and by our Constitution, we don't give those war decisions to the generals. We give it to Congress and the president, who, of course, is commander-in-chief. So to say you trust the generals, I don't necessarily agree.
I
with
trust
that.
them. I trust their judgment more than my own, I guess. Did I make that clear or no?
Lee would be wrong.
They're more informed than I am.
Well, sir, I'll give you an example. Now, I was wrong. I was wrong because I was one of those people who wanted to go into Iraq in the beginning. You know, you get into that war bravado and it's exciting. And so the majority of people, the majority of Congress and the military wanted to invade Iraq. And look what happened. The few people who didn't proved out, I think, pretty obviously they were right. So again, it's complicated, and we need to look at the consequences. Now, the Chinese are more future-oriented. They have these 10-year plans. They're an ancient civilization, whereas most of us Americans are more short-term. So yeah, this guy was bad, but man, we got to think about the consequences of going into a war. It's exciting, and our military would win for sure at
So
first,
a lot of people are comparing this to Sarajevo, and when Gavrilo Princip shot Archduke Ferdinand. What was it? 19.
You're talking about World War I.
Right, correct. Yeah. So like a lot of people are making that comparison. Now the only difference is that guy was well, first of all, you would have to ignore all of the backdoor treaties and alliances that were going on at the time because there was the absence of like the UN or any kind of like anything. Well, the League of Nations hadn't even formed yet, or League of Nations was bullshit anyway. Point is, there was a lot of like it was already the powder kegs were just sitting there. That Gavrilo Princip shooting that guy was just a. Now, have you ever heard of Dan Carlin, who does hardcore history?
Yeah, he's been on Rogan. I like that guy a lot.
He's good.
He's good, man.
I started listening to the World War I podcast that he did, and it's pretty crazy. So there was that Archduke Ferdinand came down there, and there was a parade, and he wanted to. It was basically a show of force, That's basically what a parade was when he did it in like a foreign territory, right? So he came in there and he did that. And there was a lot of people that were pissed about it. So there was a terrorist group, probably I think it was like 5 dudes. They had this plan hatched, and they were going to throw a bomb and kill him that way. So they threw the bomb, and it was like, all these old shitty cars. It barely ran. It was like, early 1900s, right? So anyway, the bombs were just as shitty. And it blew up the fucking car like 3 cars behind them. So they all scattered. Bunch of people were hurt. And then so the Gavrilo Princip guy, he goes and gets a sandwich, right? And he's just sitting there bummed out. He's like, "Fuck, I fucked everything up. Hopefully I don't get found," And the Archduke tells his wife, he's like, "Listen, let's go down to the hospital. Basically a photo op. I'm gonna go down there and check on everybody, make sure everything's okay." So he goes down, and he's on his way down there, and his car breaks down. It's an old piece of shit. It wasn't old, it was new, but it was an old piece of shit by today's standards. They barely had reverse. It would stall out all the time. So he pulls up there, and it just happens to be the same in front of the same restaurant that he was hanging out in. And he came out, and he was like, "Oh shit, there he is!" Boom, shot him with the pistol. Shot his wife too, and that basically triggered the whole war, right? But
one individual act created a whole combustion of events that resulted in World War I.
Right.
Because.
Uh-oh.
No, that's okay. I know what's going on. That's my. What I'm saying is, I think if you use that example, they're pointing to things that can get out of control, and things can. We're not God. We don't know what necessarily could follow from that, like what followed from that small individual act. So we need to think hard and long, because we should have learned lessons from Vietnam and Iraq. And, things can always get worse. We could have a comet destroy our Earth. Everything is not predictable like war. So we have to do the best we can, I think. Now, if we're attacked, that's different. Right.
The difference I would say most people are making the comparison between that event and World War One kicking off like that is that if it wasn't that lone gunman, right, which it wasn't this time, imagine if instead of that lone gunman it was the United States government with all of its power and glory, dropping a giant bomb on that motherfucker. It'd be a whole different situation because it wouldn't be like, okay, well, who was he with? And it'd be like, okay, you never know how that situation might turn. It might be like, okay, they're serious. We're done.
Exactly. It's the day after. Our military can beat anyone in this motherfucking world. But what about the day after? Are we going to now have hundreds of thousands of soldiers controlling the population? Things aren't so simple, and I wish there are obvious solutions, and I could tell you. But yeah, man, it's complicated, and what do we do? What do we do? Right?
Yeah, we just sit here and think. It's like you got thinkers and you got actors, and like the actors usually act, which you need that, but they don't take the time to think.
Right, and maybe they have other interests. For example, I won't go into conspiracy, but sometimes politicians want to go to war for reasons of popularity, right? So they have all the agendas. Is Trump always going to do the thing in the best interest of his country or himself? And what about the politicians? Who's defending the rights of the people? That's always my worry, and I don't know who's really speaking for the people, like on this impeachment, right? A Democrats lying, Republicans are lying, and we suffer.
That's why I think it's so important. What I've learned is it's important to have a small government, as small of a government as you can, because then whoever is in charge and whoever is being corrupt has less of an effect on you.
Right.
Whoever allows you to be and live your life the best way, like I don't know. Even if I had the best intentions in my heart, which I do, but even if I did, and I was like, Sam, you just let me take care of you, man. You don't need to think about anything. I still couldn't give you the life that you could give yourself if given the opportunities and the resources, right? Like,
you're talking about a dictatorship that people give up their individual freedom, saying, "You know best, take care of us." By the way, I agree with you about smaller government, and boy, government is so repressive now. I don't want to trust those people. Do you? And
not really. I don't trust that. I wouldn't want my neighbor to take care of me. Have full autonomy over me.
I don't want anyone to take care of me. I want to take care of myself. And let's bring it to a really, really, really small practical level. Now, in our world, in our little small universe, we have someone called Wendy. And rather than be independent, she's always gone with people supporting her. If she was independent, she'd feel better by herself. So bring it back to what you were talking about. We're supposed to have freedom, and the government will always try to take our freedom and take advantage. Look what happened after 9/11, man. They just grabbed more power. So the real problem is, what do we do about it? We're just individual selves, and they have all that power, and I don't have an answer there, Click. Do you? What do we do, right? I agree with you.
That's the what's the Marxist theory?
That's not the what?
I guess. Wait, can you truncate your whole point there into like one sentence, one question?
I believe people should be independent and responsible and have freedom of choice.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, and like a lot of people would say.
But you're not for abortion, are you, Sam?
Oh, that's Helen DeKellar.
I was going to bring that up. That's a good point, Helen, because there are boundaries. Like, even though we're independent, we don't have the right to murder anyone.
So
well, there
as long as it's when you want it to be freedom.
There's degrees.
Not at all. Of course, we still have to go by certain principles. Like just because we're free doesn't give us the right to take away the freedom of a baby by taking his or her life within the womb.
Like my right to protect myself should supersede a burglar's right, to break into my house. You know what I'm saying? Like that. There's definitely degrees. Or like you have freedom of speech, but you can't yell fire in a movie theater. That type of shit.
Well, there's never absolute freedom.
But Helen's right. Helen is right about one thing, and it's what we talked about the other day, is that as long as our Constitution doesn't protect the fetus, then the constitutional right of a woman's choice to what to do with her body is going to trump what happens to the infant.
No, I think you're wrong. And this is why, even though we have laws, we have individual rights to go against those laws, and moral rights, and slavery is a good example. It was legal to have slavery. Does that mean that we should have supported that system because it was legal? A law can be wrong. The Nazis had laws, so sometimes conscience, one has to go with one's
laws
conscience.
sometimes can be right, where you could own up to 100
Most of the time they are.
and enough ammo for a whole city. That's where it's okay.
Most of the time laws are right in our country. We're the best.
What you want, and then it's not okay.
Well, what I want is based on. No, you have to look at each law. They're not firm. That's why we have amendments to the Constitution. The Constitution is flexible, or it would never be changed. That's why we came up with amendments abolishing slavery, giving women the right to vote. But basically, most of the Constitution it and protects our rights, but it doesn't seem to protect the right of the unborn babies.
Sam, can I ask Helen a question real quick?
Of course, it's your show, man.
Okay, yeah, no, but what's the acceptable time for like you to, like, when are you not okay with the baby being aborted? Like how many weeks?
First, I want to preface this.
No, I'm talking to Helen.
Oh, I'm sorry. You should have talked to me. I probably had a better answer.
It's all right.
I'm joking. Go ahead.
Personally, I say 24 weeks.
24 weeks. Okay, so can a baby be born at 24 weeks and survive viably? I don't know. I think they might be able to, right, with like help or whatever. So what, in my opinion, like what would the difference be between like the baby being like being born at 24 weeks or being sucked out at 23 weeks? Okay, no, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Being born at 24 weeks and then somebody just takes it by its feet and smashes its head against the wall, or being aborted at 23 weeks. See what I'm saying? It's like so hard for me to make that like, okay, yeah, a week later, sure, that's fine.
You know what? Where it's kind of like how gun right activists say, oh, we changed one law for gun capacity. They're not gonna stop there. They're gonna go all the way. And that's not true. It's just like with abortion, where the other side does go all the way, with like Alabama, no exceptions. You get raped by your fucking grandpappy or whatever.
Right.
All the time there, by the way.
Oh, it's not either all. Oh, no. We have to make precise decisions all the time, and that's why we define what is life. For me, and we talked about this. By the way, I think it's good to talk about. I think that if 100 people hear this discussion, if only one or two think about it, it's worth talking about.
What if Helen convinces them to go get one, though?
They're gonna go. Still worth it then? Yeah. Helen is probably going to convince a lot of maybe pro-abortion people or something, but he has the right to speak. Obviously, I just think I can speak truer because.
Would you rather have another person in the criminal system because they're not being taken care of, and you got to pay for their welfare for however long they're alive till they're dead?
Sure, if it's a question of murder, of course.
But why is that an either or? Why does that have to be an either or?
Who, me?
Because murder, either you kill a life or you don't.
No, I'm saying why does it have to be that if a child's born?
Can't get their abortions. can't get their abortions, you think they're going to be able to take care of that kid? I'm just making assumptions. They could end up being Barack
So
Obama.
people have made that argument. I don't think
We should mitigate that. We should mitigate kids who are born to, like, yeah, I don't know. I guess,
You're
but why
right.
not just
I
take
agree.
care of it? Why not take care of it like in the first trimester though? Like, come on, be responsible.
You make it almost sound like there's like Mexicans getting pregnant, and then they're just like, oh, it's time for another abortion. Well, we don't give a fuck about human life. Like, it's pretty serious for the people who have to get the abortion too. They're not necessarily happy with where, like, the fact they have to get one for whatever reason.
Absolutely.
They're still irresponsible.
But let me make my point. We can't make moral decisions based on utility. The Nazis were probably pretty good at that. They just killed people who didn't take up their view. That's why we don't kill people who take welfare, right? We make those moral decisions.
Is that
and
the reason why?
Well,
No, they kill
we
each
say-
other.
Yeah.
Everybody can be poor sometimes and need help. I've been in situations when I was younger that I benefited from help. And then hopefully we get out of that situation. But there are some people in society who can't function, and we're always going to take care of them. But Helen, why did you take food stamps? You seemed able to work. So let's make it real to you. I saw you with food stamps, yet why weren't you working yourself?
That's usually how you get
I'm
them.
working now. Yeah, that's why you get them, because you don't have a job.
That was
I
wrong.
didn't have a license. My license needed to be renewed, and I had no income, and I gotta be able to pay for at least my food. That's why I did it.
Sir, when I didn't have a car, I used to go around a restaurant.
12 miles up and downhill in snow.
No, he carried his wife on his back to work.
No, I
It's
don't.
a real man.
Why should the government pay for your food when you're capable of working, sir? You're saying it was impossible for you to work. I don't believe that. You could have cut lawns. Come on, man.
But 4 weeks. You understand? $195 doesn't get you that far. It's like $185 now or some shit for a month.
You're saying you couldn't get a job to pay for your food?
Well, no,
Is that what you're saying?
I couldn't get to it. That's correct. But
okay.
The way you're
I
saying
don't.
it is as if they're giving me money to get the same amount of stuff for the next man who is working, which is absolutely not true. They don't give you money like the next man who is working. They're giving you money like scraps.
I wasn't thinking that. I'm thinking that unemployment is so low and you're physically able to work. And I'll get off the topic because I didn't come on here to bash.
Your job. How are you supposed to work? A lot of places around here won't hire you if you don't have a.
No, what I used to. You know what I used to do? I used to hitchhike. I see some people hitchhiking,
so
sir.
that's Sam Hill's solution. Why weren't you hitchhiking and working for your food? Your weekend food out of
Did you follow the rules of the road?
My solution was working, not taking food stamps, sir. I don't think I'm saying anything gross. I don't believe
think that it's unreasonable to take food stamps if you don't have a job and you have no money.
I think it's unreasonable.
Anybody listen to this? If you don't have a job and you don't have money, you're kind of fucked. Go to the welfare office. They'll hook you up with like $185. Have fun with that for the whole month.
I disagree.
Helen, put your phone closer to your mouth, about a fist away from your mouth, as Rogan says.
I disagree. I think it was bad for Helen. Now that he has a job, he seems happier. People who are dependent don't build self-esteem or independent.
Choosing not to have a job. Do you understand? I wasn't choosing that, and since I've gotten one, I don't know what the contrary here is.
I think you could have done more to get a job. You could have moved back in with your parents. I just don't think that
Well,
it was
how do you do that
impossible.
without a license? I'm not gonna, I guess I could
Didn't
wake
have a
up 3 hours
license.
early and take the bus. Well, no, yeah, once I got my
Yes.
license, I got a job 4
Yes.
months, well, like 4 months later.
You just said something really, really interesting. You do what you have to do,
I'll be
and
back.
some people. Oh no! Don't
No,
don't
I'm
be.
not going, I'm not waking up 3 hours and then getting home,
Right. Why? Some people
Nah,
do.
I'm good. I'll wait. I'll do the steps necessary to get my license back in order to get the job, which is what I
Right.
did. But...
You'd rather take
And
welfare.
you know, my situation in San Jose's a little different, just because I'm on, I'm technically at
Vacation or
court
something.
maybe in 9 months or less. But
Yeah, that's true. And
we're arguing.
Oh.
I have a job and I don't get welfare anymore. But if I didn't have
Doing
this job,
great.
you better believe I go right back on it, and that's not even like a you're acting
Sir,
like I don't know, you act like a bunch of prideful thing to want to eat food.
do you feel better having a job?
Yeah, I
right?
get actually money to be able to get food for the whole month. So yeah, I like the job. I'm able to eat. I just got back from Walmart right now. I got all sorts of things.
I think you've done something cool. You got off those food stamps, and you're paying taxes,
Those
and you
whole
made it happen.
$185 a month food stamps. Whole lot,
Whatever it
dude.
is.
I was living
No,
luxury, dude.
whatever it is.
I was getting
Whatever
food for like
it-
a whole week and a half. That was fucking balling.
But you're parasiting off the government, and morally, I think that's wrong.
It's not parasiting. Parasiting is
At least we're not on
parasiting
camera.
is-
Sir, you were capable of having a job. You didn't want to take a bus 3 hours. Some people do. People in the
Well,
Philippines.
I guess I'm a parasite then. If that's your
working.
definition, then yes.
Well, what does parasite mean? It means feeding off something else, and you were feeding
Yeah,
off the
when you have
tax.
nothing
Now,
else.
Things in the
You're acting
asshole.
But
like
you had
I had
options,
any money
sir.
in my pockets. I had nothing. I had to go get something.
Oh no!
That's
look,
what people do. That's what it's reserved for. That's why we live in America, where it's so great that they got your back with a safety net. If you're
oh,
fucked.
that's not why I live in America.
Whether you're fucked at your own precautions, like your own fuck ups, which mine were.
Right.
Mine were my own fuck ups.
Right.
I got a DUI.
Of course.
So I lost my license.
Right.
And then I got drug charges. Blah blah blah. Point is,
Right.
for those it's not. Some people get fucked, and it's not necessarily their fault, Sam.
Sir, I
For
said
me, it was.
some people
But at the same
like
time, I still suggest anybody who's a broke, bummy ass nigga who needs some fucking food for at least
Right,
a week and a half
right.
out of the month.
Right.
Please don't hesitate
Right.
because someone like, I'm Sam Hill. You're a parasite to the government.
Sir.
Don't let someone
Sir,
like that
that's
disrupt
ridiculous.
your ability to
Don't
eat some
put
food.
that on me, sir. I'm saying you should get a job if you're able.
Yeah,
Now,
that does get taken that
nobody
way, and
starves.
I
Let me
agree,
just say
Sam.
one thing. Nobody starves in America. There's food. There's places that give away food. No one starves in America. We're not talking about starvation.
Sam's talking about a philosophy to pull yourself out of needing that assistance and out of like looking for your next meal. I think that's what he's talking about.
Of course,
It's that
I
whole. It is that
understand.
whole
In the
cliche
meantime,
bootstraps. Pull yourself
do
up by your
not
bootstraps
fucking
mentality.
No,
Stop yourself until you can still actively be looking. You can still be doing the stuff necessary to get your life in order so you can do it. Which for me, example, license. Got my license, got a job, got off the welfare. I don't know,
Point
but
was-
in the meantime, if I lost this job and I lost my license or some shit, I'd 100% be right back there.
But you didn't get out of that situation by sitting there
disagree.
crying and complaining and waiting for somebody to
Right,
give
but
you a
at the same time,
handout.
yes, the people
You
who
got
are
through
in
it
the
and you had a
situation,
plan.
They're not living up to the standards that you or I make minimum wage at a gas station. They're not getting to able to eat for the whole month even. They're getting to eat for like
Nobody
2
starves
weeks
in
if
America.
that's that shit.
Listen, click.
Yeah, that's why there's panhandling and crime.
He was taking food stamps while he was buying kratom. So the government
Well,
was
my family's
supporting.
buying the kratom.
He's gangster.
Your well,
Hey
why
man,
didn't you-
I
why
don't
didn't
have
he
the
say-
cleanest
right,
conscience
why didn't
either.
he
I've
tell
done
his
shady
dad,
shit.
right, why didn't he tell his dad, Dad, don't buy me kratom, buy me food?
Well, I mean, kratom is food, Sam Hill.
Let he who is without sin, Sam, cast the first stone.
Oh man, don't do that.
What did you do on Skids Row, Sam? Come on now.
I did some bad things, but I was 16 years old. Yeah, I've sinned, but that doesn't mean that I should support the view that Helen is saying. He said his philosophy is we're in America to get things. I don't agree with that view at all. If you agree that Americans should only take things and not contribute to society, then you agree with him. That's not why I think our country came to be. That's not patriotic. Patriotic is contributing and helping people, not sitting there and taking food stamps and going to your father not for food but for kratom. Come on, man. Now, he said he didn't want to go 3 hours, but many people in the world do. I know people in my wife's village, they're like an hour and a half outside of Manila, so they would take the bus 3 hours. It's not worth, he'd rather take food stamps than take a bus. I don't agree with that. Obviously, Helen does. It's for the listener to make their own decisions. If Helen's right to take food stamps and kratom instead of food, then you agree with him. He got a job. You think I'm putting him down? I congratulate him because he moved to work. He's a success story. But I think it's a much better situation working now and not having excuses. He's done great. He's working, man. He's paying taxes. I'm just talking when he wasn't.
Oh. Well, I think that's a good time to wrap it up, guys. I got to get to bed. I thank you so much for coming on, man. Both of you.
Thank you, Click. Take care, you guys. Peace.
Good night, everybody. Peace. Where's my fucking OBS so I can end this? Good night.